Defense stood out against the Vikings? Who were the big standouts? Nnamdi Madubuike slowly ramping up, and more drama in Ravens Nation. That and so much more on this episode of the Purple Rain Podcast. Yes. Good evening or morning or afternoon, and welcome back to episode 435 of the Purple Rain Podcast. The Anthony Allen, Jake Hummel, Corey Ivy,
Mm,
Desmond King,
mm.
Gus Edwards edition of the Purple Rain Podcast. Thank you for coming through, spending your evening here with us just to talk about all things Baltimore Ravens football. We are one preseason game away from the real thing being up next on our plate. Getting close, getting very close. But first off, you can follow us here on Instagram at the Purple Rain Podcast. Daryl Cherry, thank you already. The 100 jewels. You can follow this guy right here on Instagram or on X at SuttonDef. Me, Instagram, simply as10.prod. X simply as10. And yes, make sure you like the video and subscribe if you are new to talk in that live chat. It is almost the season, so whole lot of Ravens stocks coming up. You know how we do it. The Monday reaction shows, Thursday preview shows, Purple Rain parlays coming back. Come on now. I mean,
Can't
it's
wait.
almost that time. I can feel it. I can even feel it in the air. Like, it's not like really, really hot anymore. It's getting, we're like low 80s, high 70s. It's like, all right, football weather soon. It's the grill. You smell the grill.
Mm.
Just
Talk about it.
close your eyes. Think of it. You're at a tailgate right now. Beverage in the right hand, some food in the left, and you're about to watch some football. But yes, welcome back to the Purple Rain Podcast, Sutton. You had a busy weekend. You were here in Maryland. How are you doing? Would you fly back today?
Yeah, this morning. I'm doing good and, visited family and went to a wedding for one of my college friends. That was super cool. And, had a bunch of people out to like a brunch yesterday out in like Alexandria. That was fun. So it was a good time. It was a good weekend. And, I was not able to put out any content over the weekend because I was, trying to be present with family and things like that. So apologies if you were looking forward to some PRP content over the weekend, but we are back now. We are back now. And like my guy Alex said, we only got one more preseason game. And from the time that we're recording this episode, 20 days, right? 20 days even until the first game of the season for the Ravens. They will play in Indianapolis week one. Speaking of week one, I don't know if a certain player is going to be ready to go by week one. We're going to get into that, all that and more here again. But like my guy Alex said, welcome into this episode 435 of the Purple Rain Podcast, where we cover all things Baltimore Ravens. If that sounds good to you and you enjoy daily Ravens content, please be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel as well. I also want to give a big shout out to our channel members. Shout out to all of our channel members in here. Let's go ahead and clap it up for them. Do I see any members in the house yet? Are there any members in the house? Let me see. No members yet. If you're a member, chime in. Let us know you're here in the live chat. Also, comment down below because we want to see those badges. We want to see those badges, okay? Let me see. Let me see who's here in the live chat, though. I see Dylan Bowers in here. What's going on, Dylan? I see King Blaze. What up, King Blaze? Daryl dropping the 100 jewels. Appreciate that, brother. Let me see. Spooky J says, what's up, PRP? It's still crazy to think that Harbs may have been sabotaging us for the past couple of seasons, but it is what it is. This is the first season in a while where I'm optimistic going in. Yeah, I mean, Spooky J, I mean, you're right about that because we have heard a lot, Alex, about like, players coming out. What was it? Yeah, Patrick Queen most recently, friend of the show.
Deshaun Elliott. Yeah.
Deshaun Elliott, they were kind of talking about how the conditioning was crazy and this is why guys were hurt and things like that. So Harbaugh has really been getting outed by like a lot of his former players. And it's to me, for a mofo like me, Alex, who's hate watching, I love to see it. I love to see it. Right. But yeah, no, you're absolutely right, Jay. I mean, like, this season does feel different. It feels different. Like, everything about it feels different. And I'm super excited to see what the Ravens have to offer.
Yeah, and I'm sitting here and I'm actually getting a hype video together, but I'm like, do we really need a hype video? Like, do the Ravens fans need a hype video for this year? Because we really don't. Like, I think we're already hype enough going into the season. And, it's just a whole new stone is turned. But I know we'll get into it later, but I just got to bring it up now. I'm a little upset at the Ravens because why are you going to show me our home opener jersey combo? And we still got to wait almost a month until it. They have the new jersey combination. I don't know if you saw it. It's called White Noise.
Oh, I
Week
did see
2,
that.
we're wearing the white jerseys with the white pants with the purple helmets. Why would you do that to me? Why? I mean, thank you, but it is a beautiful combination. We'll be ripping out week 2 against the Saints. So haven't worn actually white uniforms for a home opener since 2018 when we beat the Bills 47-3. So little Ravens news for you there. So
Let me see if
looking
I can
forward to
pull that
that.
up actually, Alex, because I wanted to see what
Yeah.
it looked like. I think they posted it earlier, right?
Very early in the morning, on Twitter and on Instagram, just out of nowhere.
Yeah.
No teasers, no nothing. Because usually they post it the Tuesday or Wednesday of that game week. But to post it so early, I think they're trying to get more hype for it. I see you had the video pulled up.
Yeah.
I'll
Let me
let
bring
that.
this over here.
Yeah, Spooky J white out for week 1. Yeah, it feels like a whole new organization for the home opener too. So with that
Interesting.
helmet and then the all whites,
Oh,
it's
that's gonna be beautiful. Cause no, I said it like when they first released those that uni kit, I was like, that's my favorite pairing right there. That
yep.
white jersey with that that purple rising helmet with the gold faceplate. Oh my goodness, man. The face
Look at
mask. That is incredible. I love this. I love this. Everything about it.
little teaser
Der-
for us.
yeah, I mean Derrick Henry's about to be out there looking like a Greek god in that
Mm,
outfit. I mean, he is. He is. Not to say that he doesn't already, even in the old jersey, because he's huge, but like in these jerseys, man, they're gonna look so good. And so September 20th, that's versus the Saints. Okay.
yep.
Home
Week 2.
opener, right. Yeah,
Home
week
opener.
2. I like that. I mean, I like that. We're kind of like what do the kids say? Like oramogging the Saints. You know what I'm saying? Like taking that gold and really showing that like, we rock it better than anybody else. I love it. I love
Yep.
it. Me personally, Alex. I do.
I
I
did
do.
see Lamar come out in them gold cleats as well to match the
Yeah.
gold on the helmet.
Yeah.
Now we're really talking.
Now we're really talking. Exactly. Chef Trez in the chat. What's going on? We got some members in the house now, Alex. We got some members
There
in
we
the
go.
house now. Chef Trez is in here. What's going on? We got King Lee is in the building as well. What's going on? Another member in the chat. Quoni, another member in the chat, says, "What's up, Rain Gang? What up? What up? What up?" Miss Fancy Pants is also in the chat. Another member dropping the hearts down there. Thank you so much for coming through, Miss Fancy Pants. And good evening to you, Shelly. Shelly, another member says, "Hey, Sutton and Alex." Hey, Shelly. Thank you for coming through to this episode 435 of the Purple Rain podcast. And don't get me wrong, Alex, you had some deep pulls. The names for this episode, some of them I didn't even recognize.
I
Right?
left one off. I
Did
left
you?
one off. Sharice Wright. The less said, the better.
Mm.
Less said, the better.
The less said, the better. Spooky J says, "Dude, whiteout for week 1. This feels like a brand new organization, man. Week 2, week 2,
Yeah, home opener.
week 2. Yeah, home opener." Let me see. I don't want to miss out on any members here in the chat. God's favorite. What's going on, God's
Oh,
favorite? Says salute, folks. Salute to you, brother. Thank you for coming through. Okay, Alex. So the Ravens did have a game this past Saturday, right? They also had a practice today. We'll get into that a little bit later on the show, but they had a game on Saturday. They beat the Vikings 13-3, right? And last week, what we did is we kind of like looked over the box score and everything like that, and kind of took context from the game. So I figured, why not do that again, Alex? Right? Like, why not just go back to the box score and see who did what? And let me see here. Let's pull it up. Let's pull it up. Let me see. So the Ravens defeat the Vikings 13-3, and very much so a defensive struggle. It was basically like the epitome of like what happened all week in the joint practices. Like it was the exact same thing. Like, and I think we expected that. I think we called the under right on the total points. That hit. That
hey,
smacked.
take your right hand and pat yourself on the back because we said Ravens spread and the under. Cashing.
We already
Cashing.
cashing. We already cashing,
Cashing.
man. Listen, you got to listen. This is how you know you want to stick around when the regular season starts, because those Purple Rain parlays, we get better and better every year, Alex. I feel like we do. I feel like we're smarter with it. We're sharper with it. This year, we promise you, there will be some great returns from the Purple Rain parlay segment. It's gonna be a lot of fun. But no, I'm glad we called this one pretty much perfectly, Alex. Now, like I told you off camera, like I wasn't able to like really lock in on this game as much as I wanted to. I've rewatched the highlights and things like that, and I'm still going through like the all 22 myself on NFL Pro. But I want to start with you here, Alex. Like 13-3, it wasn't a huge, crazy offensive showing by either team, obviously. What were your main takeaways from this game, Alex? And we can kind of ping pong back and forth on that.
I mean, they're all defensively, but I'll start with my one offensive, I guess, positive, Joe Fagnano. This guy, for being UDFA from Connecticut, make no mistake, this Brian Flores called this game as if it was a regular season game. He was throwing everything at him. I think he had one where he like showed he was, bringing seven. He dropped the defensive tackle out in the coverage, and he damn near
Yeah.
had the tip on LeJontay Western, and was probably a big reason for one of his five incompletions. But Flores was dialing it up. The just disguises everything, the blitzes, and Fagnano for the most part dealt with. He had, I think, one sack he took, but it showed growth for me because he could easily, force it, throwing it away, but he took it instead of just kind of, throw another interception. 15 for 20, 123 yards, one touchdown, 6.2 yards average. I mean, that's not the best, but for me, it's a passer rating 106.9, and
Yeah.
he didn't make mistakes, and I think that's what the team wanted to look at. Huntley, on the other hand, just felt like he would not let the ball get out of his hands. He was holding on to it very,
No.
very
Oh
long. I'm
my
glad you saw that
gosh.
too. He ran when he had to, but I'm like, get it out. Come on,
Yeah.
Tyler, just throw it. It's so you can't play with fire against the Vikings defense, and it's all things learning. Austin Reed came in for the last two drives, didn't do much, but offensively, did you see anything else besides that? But that's all I really took away was Fagnano and Huntley just holding on to the ball.
Yeah, I mean, I think a big thing for me, well, of course, like you mentioned, Huntley holding onto the ball. I tweeted it on my X account. I said, it looks like he's got stickum on his hands, right? Like he can't let go of the football. He can't, yeah. But that was super frustrating. And Joe Fagnano putting together these performances here. I don't necessarily know if the Ravens will carry three quarterbacks on the roster because they have to cut down to 53 by Sunday, Alex. So maybe he, gets on the practice squad and doesn't get picked up by another team. I'm not sure. But Joe Fagnano definitely made a very strong case for, maybe taking over that quarterback two spot, but at the same time, with the contract that you paid Huntley, with everything that Huntley's done in the past for this organization, I think that he's going to get the default benefit of the doubt when it comes to that QB2 role. But other things that I saw on offense, Alex, one thing, a stat here I want to pull up on screen, I want to show on screen. Baltimore's receiving was not crazy, right? We didn't have crazy production in the pass catching category. But I do want to mention Josh Cuevas, rookie tight end Josh Cuevas. He led the team in receiving yards. He had 3 catches for 46 yards and a long catch of 23 yards. And that was on 4 targets. And the thing that, like, when I was watching Josh Cuevas play, he did give me shades of like a young, raw type Mark Andrews, right? I think Josh Cuevas has strong hands. I mean, we've seen that the different training camp practices, videos that the Ravens have put out and things like that. But that drive where I believe it was Tyler Huntley, they started getting Huntley on the move and things like that and kind of scheming guys open. And Cuevas was one of those guys. It kind of moved all the way down the field on one of those Tyler Huntley drives. I think it stalled out at the end of it, but that was super encouraging to see from Josh Cuevas. He gives me like kind of like one of those big rumbling tight ends. Like you get the ball in his hands and he's getting up north, right? It's gonna be hard to take him down. He's gonna get at least like 5-6 yards after contact, right? He's one of those guys, and I thought that was super encouraging to see, especially after week 1 of preseason where Matthew Hibner was the one who stood out. So I'm looking for one of these two tight ends, these rookie tight ends, to really emerge as the new kind of tight end weapon in this room. Of course, losing Isaiah Likely and Charlie Kolar in the offseason, Alex. Somebody's going to have to step up in that room, especially if Declan Doyle and these Ravens want to run some, 12 personnel with 2 tight ends and 3 tight end sets. Somebody's got to produce, right? And I'm glad to see that those guys are stepping up so far. So that was probably the biggest thing that I saw. Anything else from you?
I think Chris just brought up hoping to see center play better this week.
Yeah.
Ethan Poach just came in for a little bit. I thought he was holding his own for the most part. Obviously, they're ramping him up. He's not fully 100% yet. They had this kind of designated plan for him, so I think we'll see him more on Friday against the Commanders. So if he has a good showing there, I think he'll probably win the center's job. I think he's already kind of in the lead for it now, but that would really just stamp the head on it. But I think on the line, Venga Ioane had some really, really good plays and had some plays, but he's a rookie. I'm not really losing my mind over it. I know he'll be good once the
Yeah.
season comes, so have, a starting line around him rather than fringe guys. But I am a little disappointed in one of our linemen who I thought had a pretty mediocre game. That's Andrew Voorhees.
Ah,
He did not look good again. There was a screenplay where he just wasn't even blocking for, I think it was Tao Tolliver. And I'm like, get out in front of him, make yourself useful. And it just wasn't there. And yeah, I mean, he will be a backup. I can't see him starting on this team and probably will be his last year with us. But you want to think, he would have been one of the guys that maybe could have stepped up in this moment, getting a ton of reps in this game, and it just didn't look good for him at all. But Poaches, for me, looked, solid for him coming in for the first time in a while for him in the game. And then Venga there was good and there was bad, but I'm not too worried about that.
Yeah, and I think Venga will be fine. When it comes to Andrew Voorhees, my guy Coach Sip Tally Films calls him Andrew Voorcheeks. But when it comes to him, though,
He knows he's wrong for that.
But no, I don't know, Alex. I can't stand an offensive lineman that doesn't play with any edge, right? And like that's Andrew Voorhees, that's Daniel Faalele, right? That's certain guys, they just don't play with edge, and like you can just tell out there, like they're not looking for work, they're not like grinding out there. It's just I don't know, man. I don't want to see Andrew Voorhees anywhere near the starting lineup. I understand keeping him rostered maybe as a depth piece, right? And just in case you have to hit that red button, you write emergency button, and somebody goes down, you need somebody to start. But I'm fine with the prospect of John Simpson, more than likely Ethan Pozick and Vinga Ioane being our center guard combo. It's gonna take a while for an offensive line to gel, right? Like I thought that Vinga Ioane, like you said, he had some really good plays, and he also had some plays where it was like, but those are welcome to the NFL moments. But one thing that I did see, he did a pretty good job at like passing off stunts and like different blocks and things like that. I saw a couple of plays where he did a good job at recognizing when to disengage on a double team and getting to the next guy to make sure that they didn't get into the backfield. And he's only going to get better, man. Like that's the thing. Vinga Ioane, he's already looking promising. Of course, he doesn't look like a polished, finished product or anything like that, but he's only going to get better. And it's only his second game. It's only his second game, Alex. So I have all the faith in the world that by the time week 1 starts up, it's going to be a big test because the Colts defensive line is good, right? But I do think that he'll be a formidable opponent for those D linemen, and I can't wait to see him. Steve-O in the chat says, I really think Vinga is more suited for left guard. Well, we know he played left guard at Penn State, and I've been saying all offseason long, like, hey, look, like let's get this guy playing his natural position, right? It'll be less of a learning curve, right? If he ends up being a damn good player, you put him right next to Ronnie Stanley, that gives you a strong side to rush off of, which you can create imbalances in your attack, and that throws off defenses. But we did get a super chat donation. This one's coming from DWAS. What's going on, DWAS? Long time no see, brother. Appreciate you for coming through, dropping the 2-piece in the chat. Says Diets and Watson Browns QB. Am I missing something here?
It's his nickname for Deshaun Watson. Deets and Watson, like the meat.
Oh.
Yeah. We'll talk about that. Yeah, Deshaun Watson is the Browns starting quarterback.
Yeah.
I know we have a lot to talk about after we talk about the Ravens. A lot happened in the preseason, so I will not forget about you, D-Was. One more thing about this offense. I pulled up PFF and take it for what it's worth. One thing I'm looking forward to in this last game, the second highest graded player the whole game. Is it Diego Pounds, how you pronounce it? Or Pons?
I think it's Pounds.
Pounds?
Yeah.
Second highest graded with a 74.9 grade. Now, obviously, he's a tackle, but we could really use somebody in case one of those guys do go down, or maybe somebody in the heavy set. Looking to see how he performs this next week, but good for his stock to maybe make the roster. And you said it's next Sunday? So some of these guys now, 13 days until, I'm sorry, no, not even 6 days until cut. So, yeah, you got one more chance for some guys like him.
Yeah, and there's going to be plenty of opportunities this week because you got 2 joint practices with the Commanders this week, and the Ravens are pretty much practicing all week. They don't get a day off this week, and of course they have their preseason finale on Friday. But yeah, there's a lot of guys who are still going to be auditioning, fighting to make a spot on this roster. I think about guys like Rashod Bateman, or the Ravens going to carry 6 defensive tackles, right? I mean, we're talking about defensive tackles here. I think about guys like Ethan Burke. I think about guys like Dominic DeLuca, right? Who out of those guys are going to make the team? It's going to be very interesting to see. Maybe Thursday we do a roster cut down episode, right?
Okay. I think we'll have 2 days of a joint practice with us. I like that, and then we can obviously. I like that, definitely.
Yeah, that'll be cool. Let me see here. JD is in the chat. What's going on, JD? Says I'm here. What's up, JD? Thank you for coming through. Be sure to like this video, guys. We have over 120 people watching live so far. Thank you so much for coming through to this episode of the Purple Rain podcast. Be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new and you enjoy daily Ravens content. Void with the hiding Jules. Thank you for the Jules Void. Let me see. Film Study Ravens in the house. What's going on, Film Study
What up?
Ravens? Our
What
guy
up?
Ken McCusick.
How you doing?
Guys, make sure you go subscribe to him. Putting out great content over there as well. Thank you for coming through. Other tidbits from this game, Alex. What else did you really take from it when you watched it?
I think we did a good job touching the offense.
Mm-hmm.
Here's where we might start salivating, and
Okay.
that's the defense.
Oh yeah.
Because for me, there was three guys that really stood out to me on this defense. Two obvious ones. So
Mm-hmm.
number one for me, Ethan Burke. I made a video about it. This guy was just bouncing off the screen. It seemed like he was having impactful play each drive. It just was unreal. I think he had a sack,
Yep.
a pass deflected that honestly could have been a pick six. He had multiple plays where he just was, blowing it up, and a forced fumble as well. A guy like him running back and punching the ball out. I don't think one guy helped his stock more than Ethan Burke this year. I mean, this game, it's unbelievable. And I see, people vouching for him on X now, even on YouTube, that he's
Yeah.
making the team over guys like Adisa Isaac. And you think about it, Isaac's been here 3 years. Ethan Burke, UDFA out of Texas, and after seeing how the Longhorn fans kind of talk to him, they're saying this guy should have been at least a 6th-round pick. So it is great scouting on the Ravens' behalf, but he had himself an unbelievable game, and kudos to him. I'm really proud of the way he played.
Yeah. Ethan Burke is one of those guys. Like I said before, will he make the squad? And if not, will he clear waivers? Right? Will he join the Ravens practice squad? Ethan Burke. Excuse me, playing a position that I don't think that a lot of teams in the league are like, really, really starving for, right? Linebacker. There's an opportunity for him to possibly be on this practice squad and be elevated. Maybe if somebody goes down or something like that, I could totally see that. But he's definitely earned his keep so far this preseason, and it's not just him. It's not just him. It's also Dominic DeLuca as well. I wanted to bring him up. He had a tackle for loss, and then 4 total tackles on the day. But yeah, Ethan Burke, like you mentioned, that one sack, the one tackle for loss, 2 passes defense. He had a great game. And you mentioned that fumble that he forced as well. I do also want to give a shout out to Jay Higgins the fourth, because he also was instrumental in punching that football out as well on that play. So I don't like when people sleep on my guy Jay Higgins, man. I feel like he doesn't get enough shine. He doesn't get enough opportunities, but
Yeah.
he made a play on Saturday, and there's a lot of promise on this defense. The title of the video is "The Ravens Defense is Absolutely Scary." Guess what? Through 8 quarters of Jesse Minter football, Alex, through 8 quarters of it, right? The Ravens are only giving up 5 points per game. 5 points per game, right? They've only given up 10 points total. It's just, man, if that is like any type of like foreshadowing for what we're going to see going into this season with the starters on the field, man, I'm excited, Alex. I think that like a lot of people are like panicking right now. Oh, the offense doesn't seem to be where it needs to be at and things like that. And I agree, right? But I think that this defense is gonna be so good that like the offense will actually benefit from it like directly with field position, right? With the turnovers that are gonna be forced and things like that. Like, they forced 2 turnovers and they had 5 sacks on the day, right? Against the Vikings. Like, they couldn't do anything. Now, granted, Brian Flores, like you mentioned, was throwing the kitchen sink at Declan Doyle, like I mentioned last week. He gave him the final exam on his first day of school. So the Ravens were kind of slow on offense too, but this defense is going to be nasty, man. And I think that is going to bode well for the rest of this team as well. Again, like I said, the offense too.
Yeah, and I think you bring it up, 5 sacks. That's what really stuck out. And thank you, Christian. I appreciate that. Yeah, I love giving guys like him shine. 5 sacks, the 2 forced fumbles. The two turnovers, the pick by Silas Walters, and then the forced fumble. And Jay Higgins as well. I feel like he got dealt such a bad hand going out early against the Eagles with a concussion. Would have loved to see him play at least a half that game. I think he will make this team special teams purposes. But 2 more guys I wanted to bring up. Keandre Jackson had a great game. You can't keep him off the 53-man roster. Special teams purposes. Now defensively, he's showing he can hold his own. And he is Peebles. He was drawing 2-3 guys at a point. This guy was a healthy scratch last year. Obviously, I know it is preseason, but the talent is there. We could have used a guy like him, especially with the way our pass rush was last year. Then some honorable mentions. Mike Green.
Mike Green.
Did you see those back-to-back plays?
Yeah.
And oh my.
You can see it, man. Like he very well might take a year two leap. And I mentioned this on Twitter the other day after he got that sack. I was like, that's the same cross chop move that he used against the Chicago Bears to get after Caleb Williams in that sack last season. And, I just keep thinking, Alex, about how, like, with Trey Hendrickson on one side of the field and they're going to be sliding protection his way and, trying to chip him and things like that, do things to make sure that he doesn't wreck the game. Mike Green is going to have so many opportunities just one-on-one to do exactly what he did on Saturday against the Vikings. So if he can consistently win his one-on-one matchups this year, that is going to literally, it's going to throw a wrench in the plans of everyone who's preparing to play this Ravens defense. Because, like, look, we were worried about Trey Hendrickson, right? Most fourth quarter sacks in the last, like, however many years, I think 3-4 years or something like that. We're worried about him wrecking our game. But if we're just going to leave Mike Green out on an island with insert left tackle or whatever, right tackle, that can be an issue too. I mean, again, it just changes the math. It changes the gravity of this Ravens defense, like what you have to do to be able to stop it. Or overcome it, I should say. But yeah, man, I'm super excited about this team, man. I mean, especially this defense. Mike Green, like we mentioned, looks really good. Also, you had Zion Young. I looked at a lot of his snaps from Saturday as well. He showed some promise. I thought he looked better in this game than he did in the first game. He showed a lot of discipline. I mean, like I said before, a lot of times I feel like oftentimes the play has been moving away from Zion Young, so he hasn't been able to kind of impact the play directly. But he did have, I believe he had a tackle for loss in this game. Let me make sure. So they did not credit him with a tackle for loss, but I think he tackled somebody for no gain. I think it was a run. And he fit it perfectly. So Zion Young, man, he's another guy who I'm going to be looking at in this last preseason game because I want to see like what his reps, like what his rotation is going to look like when the season actually does roll around, the regular season that is. So anybody else that you saw?
Yeah, and real quick, I see Film Study Ravens Ken here says 6 pressured for Peebles as I scored it. Fantastic day. Yeah, he was wrecking up shop, and you can only imagine our depth. They actually showed a picture of it was like our projected starters, Travis Jones, Madubuike, Calais Campbell. Now you insert, behind them Peebles and Benny. That is a scary sight to think about. But one more player I do want to talk about on defense. Okay. A player you liked when we drafted him, a rookie, Chandler Rivers. I thought he had a good day as well. Had a really good pass breakup. Was beat, but he recovered so well. I think he had another play where he was, kind of stuck on the man, and then just great pursuit as well, tackling. We may have gotten one with him. I'm liking what I'm seeing from him as well, but overall, the rookies, they're looking good. Fingers crossed, maybe one of the best draft classes EDC put together, but long way to go. But from now, I mean, they're all looking good, potential-wise. Now, real quick, punters are people too. Ryan Eckley.
Yeah.
Ryan Eckley, brother.
He redeemed himself.
Deep. Yeah, big time. And then, as speaking of special teams, Tyler Loop.
There you go.
All again, making the kick. So it was a very productive day for defense and special teams, but offense, not too worried about. Like, look who was out there. I mean, Jacoby Lane was in street clothes in the second quarter. Adam Randall didn't play. I think something really minor, but he should be out there next game. Very good.
Yeah, what do you think about the Jacoby Lane? Like, because Tez Walker stayed in the game way longer than Jacoby Lane. Do you think that means that Jacoby Lane has locked up that wide receiver 3 spot?
I do.
Okay. I like it.
I do.
I think so too. I agree with you. Like, if the proof was in the pudding, like it's right there. It's right there. I mean, like that guy had one catch in the first quarter, and then he was just out pretty much. You know what I mean? Like, which I'm not mad at. I mean, leave that, like, have that guy ready to go week 1. 11 personnel. We already know it's going to be Zay. It's going to be Bateman, who we're going to get to in a little bit here. And then also it's going to be Jacoby Lane. Another thing I wanted to mention from this game, Alex, I don't know if you noticed, but Declan Doyle, offensive coordinator, he was up in the booth for the second game in a row when it was previously stated that he was going to kind of flip-flop back and forth, But I remember I came in here last week and I told you, I was like, after, that pretty good performance that they had against the Eagles, I'm sure he's probably like, I kind of like it up here. I'm going to try it again, It's one of those things where, like, you're just going to keep trying until it fails, like, until the team struggles. And you're like, okay, maybe I'll try something different. But I still personally would love to see him on the field. I would. If it's his preference to be up there next to Brady and, get the bird's eye view, because that's how you get the best angle. Let's be real. You can't see everything that's going on with your offense when you are eye level with the field. You just can't. But I don't know. What did you make of it?
Yeah, interesting. I noticed that too. I mean, they showed like a camera angle of him, and you could barely even see him, but he was in there. I would like to see him. I think on Friday. Beautiful weather in Baltimore on Friday, by the way. So Declan, you have no reason not to go in down there. Enjoy the weather. I mean, you don't
Mhm.
get to enjoy like mid 80s. Won't be bad humidity, won't be raining. Enjoy it on the sideline. But I think he will be upstairs. But if that's where he feels comfortable, I'm all for it. But yeah, it definitely was a good tidbit because I know he said he's gonna do one game upstairs and one game downstairs.
Yeah.
So right now, upstairs is winning.
Yeah. I guess so. I guess so. Tila's in the chat, says, "What's up, Sutton and Alex? What's going on,
Go
Tila,
on,
Miss
Tila.
Moderator, aka Gold Gang? We appreciate you for coming through." Let me see. Total 10 Speed says, "Yeah, that would have been Jacoby's first opportunity to maul somebody in the NFL in a game." Oh, because Tyler Huntley missed him on that deep ball. Let me see. Spooky J says, "Can you imagine if Huntley had the time to throw him that deep ball?" Yeah, I saw that
Mm.
one. He was 1-on-1, and like he would have gone up over that. He would have climbed the ladder climbing lane. He would have did it. He would have did it. But like, I don't. Again, the rush was there. I get it. But Tyler Huntley, he was holding that football, man. He was holding that football, and I didn't like it at all. I didn't like it at all. I
Right.
actually tweeted like halfway through the first quarter. I was like, "This Ravens offense looks atrocious right now. It looks anemic, right?" And like everybody hopped in my mentions, like, "Oh, you see, there's like third stringers out there. What are you talking about? This fan base is idiotic." It's like, come on, bro. The offense looked like ass. If it looks like ass, I'm gonna say it looks like ass. I don't care who's out there, right? This is the second Ravens game played this season. Like, if I want to, I have the right. I reserve the right to criticize the offense if I so choose, right? But you know how
Yeah,
people be on Twitter.
it's only two opinions on Twitter. You can never be like in the middle. You can never be like, you know what? I disagree, but I can see where you're coming from. You never
Yes, no
see
no
that.
nuance allowed.
You never see that on Twitter. That's whatever. But to the Jacoby thing, I would love to see F it, Jacoby down there somewhere, but we
Right.
didn't get it. We didn't get it.
Yeah. Yeah. Unfortunately. Um, I think that was pretty much about it from the preseason game, Alex. Those were our biggest takeaways. The Ravens defeating the Vikings 13-3. And again, like I said before, through 8 quarters of Jesse Minter football, only allowing 10 points total. And that's just one more thing that I want to mention before we move on to today's practice, Alex. You know, we talked about it a couple of weeks ago, maybe it was a couple months ago to this point, on this very show, how Lamar Jackson's record as a starter is like 97% wins when the opposing team scores like 18 or less points, right? As of right now, I mean, I get it, it's only preseason, Alex, but if I had to assume that we're going to carry the same sort of like defensive dominance into the regular season, I just don't see a way that this team, because again, I mean, the Ravens are forcing turnovers now. Like, they look like they're communicating very well. Again, pre-snap to post-snap, things are looking completely different. You can tell these quarterbacks are confused. They're holding the ball. They're patting the ball. I can only imagine that same thing is going to get carried and translate into the regular season, especially with all the starters and stuff. So this offense, again, I think is going to be the main beneficiary of that. So I'm super excited for this team, and I think they're going to be playing some super complimentary football. That's the thing that I'm most excited about, Alex.
Yeah, think about it. Short fields. We had a turnover deep in the fourth quarter. I mean, when
Yeah.
was the last time we had that at all last year? They're driving in deep in the fourth, and Walters picks it off, which was nice to see. Like you said, sacks, and
Mhm.
hopefully, we get some strip sacks, some forced fumbles, and we did get a forced fumble. Short field, and I think that turned into 3 points. I want to say, but all in all, like a good day's work at the office. I don't think we had any I words during that
Yeah.
game. No, we had some today. We'll get into that, but after two games, I think we know this defense is very good, and offense is like, well, we know we have the MVP out there. We have good receivers. We have hopefully a brand new line, a rejuvenated line, and then hopefully the tight end step up. So right now, I mean, I'm feeling pretty good about this team. I don't know about you. Obviously, I'm not gonna say Super Bowl right now, but really, really good potential, and I think playoffs is should be guaranteed. Fingers crossed. Nothing's guaranteed,
Yeah.
but it should be.
Yeah. Total 10 speed agreeing with you. Lamar with short fields is going to go crazy on the scoreboard. Man, look, I say it all the time. Ravens are going to hurt a lot of feelings this year. A lot of feelings, right? Um, I think the Ravens have the potential to be like top 5 in point differential in the league. I do, because the defense is going to be locked down, and the offense when Lamar Jackson gets rolling, and of course if he stays healthy, who's stopping that? Who's stopping that? But okay. Alex, I think it's time to go ahead and move on into today's practice, right? Today's practice had a lot of news and notes coming out of it. Most namely, you had Nnamdi Madubuike, who was a topic of discussion. He has finally started doing, participating in some drills and things like that. Before, he was just all individual work and things, and they're kind of ramping him up. That's the word that they've been using to describe how they're handling him right now. And today, he was seen, Alex, pushing the sled for the first time, as you guys can see here. A little video of Nnamdi Madubuike on the sled. He still has not gone through, any actual real physical contact, anything like that, which does concern me. Again, 20 days out from the time we're recording this video, 20 days out from week 1 versus Indianapolis. Do you think, Alex, that Nnamdi Madubuike can start week 1?
Don't shoot me. Don't hurt me. I'm going to say no. I just feel like for the team and players' safety and just to err on the side of caution, I think it's best if he does go on the short-term IR. Allow him to, take the way his body wants him to, because he was doing non-contact drills. It's not contact, but he's at least still, getting a little active. He was on that for a couple of weeks, all of training camp. So as of right now, I don't think he will, and I'm fine with that. I think you're fine with that. I think we're all fine with that. We want Nnamdi to be 100%. We don't want any setbacks, and especially with what he was going through. So, like Christian says, PUP, Hot Boy Nnamdi probably won't start till week 5 or 6, and we're all good. I have no problem with that. We got Peeble showing up. Benny was looking good as well, and once Madubuike gets back, it'll be a huge boost. So, right now, I don't think he will.
Yeah, I agree. I think that Nnamdi Madubuike, he is. I can't tell you like what percentage like of health he's at. Obviously, I'm not him, but I do have concern, Alex, about Nnamdi Madubuike's health moving forward, because even when he does play, let's say we do put him on IR, who do we play week 5? Right? Like, who would that be? That is because it's what?
Titans, I
It's
think.
Colts,
Is it
Titans,
Titans? Yep.
or Falcons? Titans. Okay.
Is Falcons? I think the Falcons is week 4, right? It's either the Falcons or the Titans.
One of the two. One of the two. Falcons or Titans. I'm sure somebody will put in the chat. And the Ravens 76 B more says, I say give him to week 5. I agree, but I just think, Alex, like the nature of this I word, right? Like, I can't help but think that it's just going to be a little bit too dangerous. Just the nature of the position, D tackle, right? You have a guard or a center trying to keep you away from their quarterback, and they'll do anything in terms of hand placement. You can have hands around, like, of course, your upper body and then your neck area. Like, it seems like a tough I word, right, to play through, because it's just not, it's something that I'm sure kind of lingers around and it can be re-aggravated. But it does concern me that at this point in the offseason, again, only 20 days away, we're still saying like, oh, he's just now hitting the sled. I think that, he's still a little bit of ways away from being able to play. And I think that right now, the most realistic thing is, like you said, to put him on IR, short-term IR. So he missed the first 4 games. And that would open up another roster spot for somebody else in the meantime. So I think that that's probably the direction they'll go. Afia is in the chat. What's going on? Afia says they won't have him out there unless he's ready. Can't practice until week 3, says Fahizi.
Yeah. So that's if he's on IR. Okay.
Yeah.
This is interesting.
Yeah.
Because then you have to open up that 3-week window with the IR. I mean, they could put him inactive.
Yeah.
He could still be practicing. Because then if you're a full participant of practice, and it's like, why are you not playing? But you could be a healthy scratch. It's interesting how they do this.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, that's what the GM and the head coach are for. But like you said, it's what do you get from rushing him back? Now, if you think you can play a couple of snaps, that's cool and all, but now you're playing somebody for what, just 5 or 6 snaps? When you could be having somebody play 20, 30, 40% of the snaps. So we got to trust the coaching on this one. And in previous years, we know how that goes. But
yeah,
I'm going to trust him on this one.
But in this year, like I feel like with Jesse Minter, we should be able to get away with not having Nnamdi Madubuike for the first 4 weeks, if need be. Somebody put in the chat. Oh, Ron says in the chat, we got Calais Campbell to hold things down until he gets back. I mean, hell yeah. I mean, Calais Campbell and Aeneas Peebles is showing promise, right? Travis Jones he's gonna do him, and I just think also you have other weapons, like in other parts of this defense. Of course, Trey Hendrickson on the outside, and then I think the secondary is going to be good this year too. Marlon Humphrey recently had a little bounce back, you know, this past week in Minnesota. So things are looking up for the defense. I mean, Nnamdi Madubuike, that is like a minor little. I don't want to say minor. That's a major setback because Nnamdi Madubuike, he's kind of like the crown jewel of this defense, if you ask me. Because again, interior to exterior, games played from inside out. He dominates from the inside. He's super important, but we'll see when he's able to get back to full strength and back on the field for the Ravens. We shall see. Other news from today's camp, Alex, you had a couple people who did not practice. Zay Flowers, most notably, did not practice today. He was seen on the field in sneakers and a t-shirt. Alex, what do you make of that?
I'm gonna hope it's a whole big nothing burger. That's what I really hope it is. Maybe, hate to say this, that day off. I know it's kind
Mm,
of crazy to say, but you have joint practices the next 2 days now, so
yeah,
you'll be getting a lot of contact there,
that's
getting
true.
time off. So unless I'm not even gonna say what else I'm thinking. That day off is what I'm thinking.
That's what you're thinking.
Yeah.
I feel like you're thinking something a little bit more sinister.
I
Why do I
mean,
feel like it?
when he went down a couple weeks ago, maybe he just felt like a little like cramping of some sort. So they don't want to risk it, but yeah, I don't think
Mm,
it's anything really serious. He'll be out there tomorrow.
okay, okay. Um, you did have a couple of reports. I heard that in 11 on 11, there weren't any huge plays, things like that. I think Jacoby Lane had a missed opportunity down the field. They said Rashod Bateman had a nice catch, who again we'll get to in a minute. Um, but yeah, not too much going on at today's practice, and no pads today. Again, like you mentioned, Alex, I think they're just kind of ramping up and getting ready for these joint practices, which I'm sure will be very physical the next 2 days against the Washington Commanders. Is it going to be in excuse me in Washington, or is it going to be at the bank? Not the bank. It's
Here.
going to be in Owings Mills. Okay,
Yep. Yeah.
gotcha.
Oh, yeah. So Dan Quinn's team coming to town, kind of new offense in a sense. Diggs, Terry, that'll be a good test for our secondary once again, like the Vikings
Yeah,
was. Um, yeah, I'm actually looking forward to it. Their defense, like with Dan Quinn, that'll be good for our offense. So I expect our offense though to have more success. So that right there, I'm looking forward to in these upcoming practice.
yeah, for sure, for sure. Okay, so again, not the most eventful day for practice, but let's go ahead and move on here to our next topic of the episode, and that is going to be this Rashod Bateman drama. The
Mm.
Rashod Bateman drama. It's a saga now. I mean, it's just like I haven't talked to you about it, Alex, but I talked about it briefly. Well, not briefly. Talked about it for like 30 minutes on Quiet Storm last week, and I definitely want to recount my uh, feelings about this whole situation now. So, in case you were not aware, Rashod Bateman was arrested a couple of months ago in June, early June, when he allegedly got into a fight with the mother of his child, and he ended up bashing the windows out of her Mercedes Benz as she tried to leave the house. And their 3-month-old daughter was in the back seat. And there's more developments on the story that came out today. I'm going to go ahead and read through that here. Let me go ahead and pull this up on screen because it's more than just what we got on Friday, right? So I'm gonna go through this, and then we're gonna talk about how we feel about it. Alex, I'll let you go first on it, but let me just read through this first. So Rashod Bateman, cops say he shoved his baby moms into the wall before the car attack. Let's read through this here. It says Rashod Bateman allegedly shoved the mother of his child into a wall during a fight inside their home hours before cops say he used a screwdriver to wreck her Mercedes while their infant daughter sat inside. According to a police report obtained by TMZ, the Ravens wide receiver's girlfriend, Marissa Crumley, told officers an argument erupted at around 3:30 a.m. on June the 3rd. She claimed they were fighting over her past, with Bateman allegedly calling her a liar. Okay. I mean, this is some tea, Alex. This is some tea right here. Crumley told cops that Bateman pushed her into a corner wall, leaving her with facial contusions. She said he later told her to pack her things and leave the home. But she claims after she left with their daughter, Crumley says Bateman repeatedly called and texted, allegedly threatening to put her dog out on the street because he was upset about not being able to say goodbye to the kid. The report says the two then agreed to meet. Cops say Bateman arrived in a black SUV with a driver, tried to puncture Crumley's rear tire with a screwdriver, and then used the tool to repeatedly strike her windshield and driver's side window. Bateman a little bit crazy now. Listen, you're a little bit crazy. You can't say, yeah, I don't want to make light of the situation, but you after this, you cannot say that he don't got no diva in him. There's clearly some diva in him. Anyways, moving on. As TMZ previously reported, cops say the shattered glass from the window caused cuts to Crumley's face, though the report states EMS found no apparent eye words. Both mother and child were taken to a hospital. Bateman's attorney, Jordan Sia, previously told TMZ it is unfortunate that a personal family situation has been taken completely out of context for sensational reasons. We will let the court process play out, and the facts will come out at that time. A Ravens spokesperson also previously told TMZ the team was aware of the situation, had been in direct communication with Bateman, and notified the NFL. The team said it would not comment further because the matter is pending. All right, Alex. So when you hear all of this, and I haven't gotten your take about this yet, I do want to hear what you have to say on this one. We do have a super chat donation before we hop into it, though. Let me see here. This one's coming from TC. TC dropping the super chat. Thank you so much. Just a regular super sticker, dropping the 5. Appreciate that, brother. Thank you for coming through, as always. But yeah, what do you make of all this Bateman stuff, man? I mean, just a couple weeks ago, we thought that Bateman was just like a goody two shoes, almost like quiet as a church mouse outside of the cryptic tweets from earlier this offseason. But now to hear all of this, what did you make of it?
I don't know what to think. I really don't, because you sit here, obviously you have his lawyers say, it kind of got turned into something it wasn't. And then you have the whole, like, you can't get past, like, the puncturing tire and the throwing the brick at the wall. You can't sit here and say that didn't happen. But what really got me is it says, like, when EMS got there, there's nobody hurt. And obviously, up here, 100% hurt. Not physically, not. And that's still abuse, is mental abuse. I just don't know really what to think about. I'm wondering, like, why did it take almost 2.5 months to come out? Why is it coming out now? The Ravens have known about it. It's been online since it happened. I think somebody posted a link of the day it happened. His mugshot was there. It just, how did TMZ get it first before, like, big NFL? There's just a lot of question marks. I don't even know what to think. This is something that I haven't seen before. It's one thing if it happens, like, randomly, like Earl Thomas's stuff happened, like, 12 hours. It was all bam, 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 bam. This has been out for 2.5 months, and we're slowly but surely getting, more and more updates. I don't know. I know we have a strict policy. We saw Tucker was gone right after, they did their due diligence.
Mm-hmm.
I saw for this, he probably won't get suspended this year because you got to go through the whole court processes. We know how long that takes. Speaking from just a strictly human, I think this will just be, there's not enough evidence, I'll throw it out. Because how many times have we seen this with sports players? They'll settle, they say not enough evidence, player walks away, money talks. That's kind of what I think is going to happen. Who knows, more could come out. But right now, it's not looking good for number 7. But obviously, there's 3 sides to the story. But right now, this one side, hard to come back from that.
Doesn't look good, Alex. I'll be the first to say it. It does not look good. As the number one bait believer, as you guys know me to be, I am telling you, this does not look good. And, I understand that this does happen a lot with like professional athletes and things like that, and the women that they choose to deal with. But it just screams immaturity to me, Alex. It screams like you don't know how to regulate your emotions. You don't know how to, as a man, control your nervous system, right? Especially around your family, right? It's just to me, there's just certain things you don't take it to those heights. You don't take it to that level, right? With somebody who is the mother of your child, especially if your child is present, right? And then the shoving into the wall. I mean, this is gross. Like, you're putting your hands on a woman. And again, this is like all like alleged, right? And then also the screwdriver is like, why a screwdriver, using a screwdriver to try to bash a window out of a car? Like, do you know how hard you have to try? Like, let me be real. You know how hard you have to try to like bust out a window of a car with a screwdriver? You know how mad you have to be to do something like that? I don't know if she like rage baited him to the point where like he just saw, he started seeing red or something like that.
Right.
But again, like, you as a grown man, like, with kids, right? And a lot to lose, by the way. A lot to lose. You got to be able to, like I always say, compartmentalize and know like when you're supposed to, know how you're supposed to act in certain situations, right? It starts and ends with you. It starts and ends with you. Tanja Bowman says, "How do you bust a window with a screwdriver?" That's what I'm saying. You know how mad you got
Like,
to be to do that.
and like you say, having so much to lose. I mean, what if you break this glass and you cut a major artery? Now you're bleeding out dead. It's just there's so many things you don't think about in the moment. I hate to be that extreme, but freak accidents happen. I just don't get, what made you that mad, and I mean, we'll never know. But bro, just go inside, go punch a pillow, go to sleep, because now you are dealing with this. I saw he walked into the stadium, hood up.
Yeah,
Oh,
I heard
nonchalant
about
gimmick
that.
ain't so much nonchalant anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's not. It's you're gonna have that target on your back now until this is over. If that goes your way, but if it doesn't go your way, I hate to say you'll be out the league because you won't. Because we've seen players who have done far worse. They're playing this NFL league or playing the NFL. So it's one of the things you don't want happening at all, especially not to your
yeah,
team. But you gotta feel for the victims involved, and especially the baby, because
for
that's
sure.
a way to be
Yeah,
raised.
and then like, so one interesting detail that I just read about in that article was that they were allegedly having an argument about her past, right? His baby mother's past. So I'm like trying to figure like like did he like go through her phone and like see that she was like texting her ex or something like that, and then like his chest started burning up. He started like crying and throwing up and whatnot, and then they got into an altercation, and she ends up wanting to leave, and then he's, I don't know. It seems like some insecurity is going on there now. You know, if this is the mother of his kid, and maybe if she was messing around or something like that, and he really thought that uh he was only with her and she was only with him and things like that, like I can see how that could get you emotional and you can maybe like crash out about that. I saw Big Cuz in the chat say sometimes a woman can take you there as a young man, and with Rashod Bateman, it's like, listen, man, you know what Uncle Ben says in Spider-Man: with great power comes great responsibility. Like, you have a lot to lose, brother. Like, you're not just some random. Because how old is Rashad Bateman? Like 26,
I
maybe
think 26 or 27.
26 or 7. That makes sense. Like, you're old enough, right? Your frontal lobe in your brain, your prefrontal cortex is fully developed at this point in your life. Like, there's no excuse to me. There's no excuse for this type of behavior. I hate it. I don't agree with it. I don't condone it at all. I'm still a bait supporter. I'm still a bait believer. Like I mentioned, it doesn't seem like anybody got hurt. So like you mentioned, it'll probably end up being no harm, no foul, right? Kwame dropping the 2 piece in the chat. Thank you so much, Kwame. Kwame says Big Head reached out at 3 a.m. Yeah, I mean, no, it was the she had her ex saved as Pizza Hut in her phone, and Pizza Hut was calling, FaceTiming her at 2:30 a.m. That's what happened, and then they just started arguing ever since. Void with the jewels. Thank you, Void.
Well, Pizza Hut has a new deal, so that's why they're calling. Just letting them know. Just letting them know. Hey,
There you
got
go.
the buy two get the liter of Coke free. That's what it was. But yeah, man,
Yeah,
it's a tough situation, and I just pray everybody gets through it, especially the baby. You want the baby to be raised in a healthy environment. That's honestly my biggest worry. Obviously the woman as well, but you have a young infant, what, 3 months old, 4 months old.
yeah.
You don't want to grow up in a situation like that. So, fingers crossed, praying for them. But yeah, and if there is harm done, you can see your way out of the Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's funny. I see you guys going back and forth about it in the chat. I figured this would probably be like a little bit of a polarizing topic. I do gotta ask you this though. Do you think he gets suspended at all?
No, I don't. I think the whole court process, it will take a while. I saw somebody mention it could be in spring of next year. I
Mm,
don't think it happens, but if more information does come out that is detrimental to him, that could happen. But if it stays like this, I don't think it'll happen. I mean, Puka didn't get, and he was alleged, biting,
oh
assaulting.
yeah, that's
There
right.
was that. I
Forgot
think there
about
was
that.
somebody
Yeah.
else as well, and that's the thing. It's you
Well,
don't know.
James Pierce Jr., right?
Yep.
He was like
Yep.
with the WNBA girlfriend that he had. I think he got like 8 games, didn't he? Without
Yeah, I
pay.
think there was video of him trying to run her over,
Oh, well, that's
and
different.
there was like
That's
phone
different. Yeah,
video of her like screaming at her. It's like there was,
that's
yeah.
crazy. Yeah,
Which,
yeah,
if that is true, trying to run her over, 8 games. God forbid
yeah,
somebody lights up. God forbid. God, you're.
yeah.
Yeah. It's. I don't get it.
Man. All right. All right. If it's not like 3 or 4 games, yes, he will be suspended. like you mentioned, if more news comes out, like because again, we just got the news today that he apparently shoved her into a wall and some more stuff, I guess. If more stuff like that starts to come out, then I could see it starting to get too bad, with the optics of it all, and then the Ravens just have to kind of, or the NFL has to come down with some sort of punishment, just to save face, I guess you could say. Um, but yeah, you definitely got to pray for everybody involved. Apparently, when he was arrested, right, she had requested contact with him, right? So I guess they're still like, I guess they don't hate each other, right? I
Right.
guess it was just kind of like, it's probably just like one of those toxic relationships, Alex. Like you've
Yeah.
seen, we all know somebody who's in a relationship with somebody who they probably shouldn't be with because all they do is argue. You can't go out with them or things like that. They can't be around friends because they always end up arguing, and you
Yeah.
can only imagine like what happens at home. Like some people like that, right? Like, it's just,
Have you ever been out with a couple like that? Oh my
oh my
gosh.
goodness, it
It
is
was 2 o'clock one
miserable.
morning. They were arguing. I'm like, I got work in
What
the
are we
morning.
doing?
Let's get the hell home.
Yeah, what are we
Over some.
doing?
Oh my god, it's the worst. And if you know somebody like you can relate. It's.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. All right. All right. All right. So make sure you drop it down below in the comment section what you think about that Rashod Bateman case. I want to get you guys' takes on it. I know the live chat is on fire right now. You guys are going back and forth. I see it. I see it. Okay, but moving on here from Rashod Bateman, let's get into some around the NFL news, Alex, shall we? I think it's about that time. Lots to cover. I know you put out multiple videos and things like that, so you've been keeping your ear to the streets. Week 2 of
Mm,
preseason. Give me your top takeaways from week 2 of preseason outside of our Ravens.
I love the preseason because
Mm,
you learn some cool stories. But let's keep it in division, and I did not forget about DWAS. Deshaun Watson
okay.
is the starting quarterback for the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised by this. I love to hear if you are, but I was expecting this.
I okay, so I'm not surprised by it, but I do disagree,
Hmm.
right? I made a video a couple weeks back, Alex, about how the Browns need to start Shedeur Sanders because you got to see what you can get out of this kid now, right? Like, don't keep him waiting in the wings. Like, no, see what you can get out of him now. If he's not good, cool, move on. Go ahead and draft yourself an Arch Manning, or who's the other kid, like a Dante Moore, or one of those other quarterbacks, because it's supposed to be a very heavy quarterback draft, right? Find out what you have in Shedeur now. If you have your franchise quarterback, great. You have your franchise quarterback. If you don't have your franchise quarterback, okay, cool. We weren't winning the Super Bowl anyway. We'll probably just end up tanking and getting one of those quarterbacks high in the draft, right? Deshaun Watson, and he doesn't look good. He doesn't look good out there. He actually looks very, very bad. Shedeur Sanders, you can actually make the argument that Shedeur Sanders looked better in the preseason so
Yeah.
far. And it's just like, I think that the Browns and this move, okay, here it is, Alex. This move to start Deshaun Watson over Shedeur Sanders, it screams that the decision was made from the upper room, right? The owners, the GM, whoever, they got together and said, hey, look, we're going to take this out of Todd Monken's hands. And we're going to say, we need to get some sort of ROI, return on investment, on Deshaun Watson. And what they're currently dealing with is the sunk cost fallacy. That's exactly what it is. They've already poured so much money, so much resources into it. Their mindset, just naturally, like psychologically, it's like we might as well see what we can get out of him. Even if
Mhm.
he's not the most logical answer as QB1 for this team, we might as well see what we can get out of him while we're still paying him a boatload of money on the last year of his contract, right?
Yes.
DWAS with the super chat donation. Thank you so much, DWAS. Says, did you see the Watson press conference? The one from last week, Alex, that one?
I think it's the one from
Or
this
earlier
weekend.
today? Oh, this
This the
weekend? Okay.
Yeah. He was just kind of saying, this is the same people that cheered me when I got
Got
hurt.
hurt. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, all of that nonsense. It's like I said, I expected it just because of the contract. You're not going to sit here and bench 230 million guaranteed. Shore probably should be starting, and you should, see if this guy has it, I can build around his rookie contract. But instead, they're just going to wait and wait and wait, and just the Browns are going to Browns. Let's just put it how it is.
Yeah.
I think Todd Monken would probably rather have Shedeur out there, but when the higher ups call him, They unfortunately they signed your check, so they're gonna have the final say. But he was like 5 for 12, 30 some yards and an interception. He just does not look good. He's throwing even on dump offs. He's throwing into the ground. This guy, man, he and just talking back about the fans and saying, I was talking in the moment, defending myself. You're not winning this fan base back. Even if you win a couple of games, that's not happening. So
Yeah.
and their first couple of games aren't the hottest either. They start off against Jacksonville, then go to Jacksonville, Tampa Bay, then Carolina, and then Pittsburgh. Easily could be 0-4. Easily. So
Yeah, could be.
you
Yeah.
do that, and now what are we talking about? But yeah, off of the Browns, some other, I guess, takeaways.
Hmm.
Kind of knew this. The Falcons quarterbacks reek. Like, you ever went
Yeah.
past the back of like a garbage can behind like a restaurant on a hot summer day? You can smell it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the Falcons quarterback room. Outside of Jack Strand, undrafted free agent D2 quarterback. He looked good this weekend, but Tua not looking good. Penix finally got cleared. Cooper Rush.
Yeah, I'm looking for. I mean, against the Falcons, what do we say? Week 4 or 5, one of the two.
Week 5, yes.
Week 5. Okay, I'm looking for the Ravens to force at least 2, 3 turnovers, 2 at the least. Right, I need at least 2 turnovers in that game because, like you mentioned, like their quarterbacks not up to snuff. Like Tua Tagovailoa, there was that viral video coming out from a training camp earlier last week where like he just doesn't look like an NFL quarterback. He just doesn't, right? And I gotta put some respect on his name because he did hang 7 touchdowns on the Mike McDonald defense at one time, right? But still gives me nightmares to this day. Game pissed me off so bad. But anywho, I think that like you said, they're going to be struggling at quarterback. And the thing about the Falcons is like they have a solid roster pretty much everywhere else. It's just like they're just missing the quarterback, and I don't know if they're gonna maybe make a move for somebody or because I don't think that because in their division, who do you got? Falcons, you got Saints, you got Bucks, right?
Yep.
And who's the other one?
Panthers, Falcons, Bucks.
Panthers, yeah, yeah. That division is pretty trash, bro.
It's anybody's
pretty
division.
trash. Yeah,
It really is.
I'd probably lean Bucks as of right now, but yeah, man. I just don't know where the Falcons are going to land in like draft position and things like that, but they got to figure out quarterback because Tua, I mean Penix, let Falcons fans tell it. They still have faith in Penix, which I understand, right? He's only had limited time in this league. He hasn't really seen the light of day too much. He hasn't had the opportunity, so we'll see if he ends up getting the nod to start at some point, but yeah, man, they're going through it quarterback wise.
Big time. You had the Packers and Broncos both play starters for the first possession. Bo Nix, 6 for 9, 76 yards and a touchdown. Jordan Love, 5 for 7, 56 yards and a touchdown. I mean, that's pretty good for them. Obviously, Packers and Broncos, we expect them to both be in the playoffs, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Moving on, there was the Packers and the Steelers. I'm sorry, wrong week. There was the Steelers and the Jets. Jets won 17-0. Couple of takeaways from this. Jets defense played against the Steelers ones, I believe, for the most part. And no, I'm sorry, no, other way around. Jets starting offense started against the Steelers starting defense. Touchdown.
Okay.
Geno Smith drove on him. Like hot knife through butter. Summer's day.
7 for 7.
Summer's day. It was surgical. I'm like, okay,
Wow.
Geno.
Wait, get this really quick, Alex. I'm
Yeah.
looking at the stats here. The Jets started. They had 4 quarterbacks. They didn't start 4 quarterbacks. They played 4 quarterbacks: Kate Klubnik, Bailey Zappi, Geno Smith, and Brady Cook. 3 out of those 4 quarterbacks had a passer rating over 100.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. Now, we talk about the Steelers. Drew Aller had a lot of hype last week, had a really, really good game. This one, I don't want to put all of it on him because there was a couple of drops, but he went 11 for 23, 110 yards, 3 sacks, 61.9 passer rating. And Will Howard, who I've heard a lot of Steelers fans prop up, 10 for 15, 74 yards, 1 sack, and 2 interceptions. I think one of them was not his fault, but either way, comes back on the quarterback. Just a bad day at the office for the Steelers offense. Couldn't get anything going. Lake McCree had a long catch, but outside of that, even I think for me, I'm more worried about your defense letting Geno Smith cook you, especially when you
Yeah.
have the starters out there.
You're getting diced up by Geno Smith is crazy. This is crazy. But no, I mean, the Steelers. Let Steelers fans tell it, man. They're winning this division, right? This is their year, right? Aaron Rodgers running it back. You know, they're excited about DK Metcalf and Michael Pittman and Jeremy Bernard and Rico Dowdle and all those boys. They're excited. They're excited, but I think it's going to be a rude awakening for the Pittsburgh Steelers this season. They're lucky they don't play us until what was it like
It's
second
late.
half, back half of the season. I hate that.
Yeah,
Give me Ravens Steelers early, man.
give me like within 4 weeks.
Yeah, because why not?
I I feel like a Ravens Steelers game week 1 would be cool.
Right, like
I
we
don't
need
even.
to see the new version of this rivalry, right? Like
Yeah,
that's like a story that's worth like putting at the forefront of some of these games, right? It should be a featured game. Like it shouldn't be in the back half of the season when people are starting, week 12. Because I can't remember exactly what week it is we play them, but like if it's in the back half of the season, that's around the time where some football fans start to experience what I like to call NFL fatigue, right? When you get to like around like week 11, week 12, and the weeks just kind of start running into each other. People aren't as excited about it. Get Ravens Steelers at the beginning of the season. Like, please, like we need to call somebody, Alex, at the NFL and get them to fix this about the scheduling, man. We do.
week 15 and week 18.
Come on, man. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? Do we even
Like
know if like all the starters are gonna be held? Like, come on, man.
you can
I hate
see it here
this.
right now. For two teams that hate each other so much, they are so very much alike. New coaches, new offense, all this new stuff. And week 15 and week 18? Come on. Give me week 1.
Yeah.
I'm not asking for a primetime game. I would love 1 o'clock CBS. That can be the primetime 1 o'clock game. You have Jim Nance and JJ Watt and then Tracy Wolfson on the sideline. But no. Week 15, when their division could be locked up. They could be fighting for a playoff spot and you knock them out. I don't like it. I'm not a fan of
Yeah.
it. Oh well.
Not a fan either. What else you see?
We had the Patriots and the Eagles. Not a whole lot
Mm.
in there. Patriots did win 24-21. Tanner McKee played well. Will Shipley played well. Not a whole lot of starters in this one. I guess for one, there was a Cowboys game, and Joe Milton looked really good.
He
I'm not
looked
gonna
good.
lie.
Yeah,
He
he
looked
did.
9 for 13, 179 yards, 2 touchdowns, and this Camden Brown guy had 2 catches for 77 yards, and former I think second round pick Jonathan Mingo, 2 catches,
Mm.
60 yards, and a touchdown. On the Cardinals, Gardner Minshew, 19 for 23, 177 yards, pretty pedestrian. I just don't know what the Cardinals are going for this year. Like, are we hoping for another top 5 pick?
Probably. That's probably what it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
New head coach. They're going to stick with LaFleur for a while, obviously. Jeremiah Love, who they paid a ridiculous amount of guaranteed money to. I think the most of all time for a rookie or something like that. I think they said like 50 M's
It was a
for a
lot.
rookie. Is a lot of money for a rookie who's now hurt, right? He's, what is it? Sprained his ankle or something like that. Um, but yeah, I don't know what the Cardinals are necessarily going for outside of maybe another top 5 pick and just try to continue to build on this roster. Um, Outside of that, Alex, no, the one Joe Milton thing. Did you see that deep ball that he threw? That over
Mm-hmm.
the shoulder, that moon ball, that was beautiful, beautiful,
Yep.
like flick of the wrist, perfect spiral, right in the bread basket, man. I love to see that. Joe Milton, I mean, look, obviously he's not going to be anywhere near starting over Dak Prescott, but he's somebody who I would look out for as maybe like a trade candidate or something like that. Maybe a team wants a quarterback that's athletic like him. I can see it. I can see it because I think this is what like his third season in the league. I want to say
I
something like
think
that.
exceeded with the
Yeah,
Pats. Yeah, I think in 23. Yeah, yeah. Um,
yeah,
Kind of off topic of preseason. I think isn't Jeremiah Love? He possibly might miss the beginning of the season. He had like that.
yeah,
Okay. Now
yeah.
on that topic of I words,
Hmm.
Ashton Genty avoided a huge, huge scare. He'll be out for a couple of weeks. Probably will miss the first couple of games, but I think he went
Mm,
down. I think he may got helped off. Couldn't put any weight on it. That is not serious at all. But the scare there.
That's
We had a
huge for
couple.
like fantasy football too.
That's why you draft after the third game.
Yeah.
Because stuff like that happens. Even in training camp, you want your guys to get through there. And then I saw somebody put in the chat, Joey Porter Jr. and the Steelers are at a standoff now with the contract. No progress has been made. And that would be big if he was out of there.
I
You could
think he
have
deserves to get paid.
oh,
Yeah.
100%
Yeah.
he does deserve, and they have a lot of money tied up in what T.J. Watt, PQ, some other guys on the defense.
Herbig now.
Yup, Herbig.
Yeah.
Yeah, they paid him. Wow. Cam Hayward's making a lot at his older age.
It's true. That's true. Real quick, speaking of fantasy football, we do have our fantasy league that is kicking off here in just a couple of days. As you guys know, we have 2 leagues because we got a lot of interest from our members on this channel. Again, special shout out to the Rain Gang channel members. We appreciate you guys. But the first of the 2 leagues is drafting on this Thursday, August 27th at 7:30 p.m. Okay, and I think it'll actually be 8:30 p.m. Eastern time, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, if you're in the league, make sure you check on the app. It's going to be Thursday night. And then for the second league is going to be on Sunday, August the 30th at 7 p.m. or probably 8 p.m. Eastern time. Yeah, but again, if you know you're in the league, make sure you check on the app because you do not want to miss the draft. It's pretty much everything, right? And again, there's a lot on the line here. A lot on the line. If you win the fantasy league, you win a free Ravens Next Flight jersey courtesy of PRP. So make sure you are competitive with that. I know my guy Coach is in one of these leagues here. He's already claiming that he's already going to win it. He's talking about something. He's already knows what jersey he wants and everything like that. So listen, if you're in the league, make sure you show up and you show out, man. I want to see some competition, and we're going to be following. We're going to be, because sometimes, in years past, we haven't really been keeping track of it. We'll just kind of like come back to it at the end of the season. But this year, week to week, we got to give updates on who's winning, who's in the lead, right? Because there is a lot on the line this year. So be sure to check out for that in our preview episodes and review episodes as well. Anything else from around the league though, Alex, or did we cover everything?
I think Keyshawn Butte got traded to the Texans because Bateman was of trade interest to the Texans.
Mm-hmm.
And that came out right after all that. Interesting.
Yeah. So I guess no more Bateman trade rumors to New England, to Houston.
Correct.
Interesting.
Yeah,
who else do you think would like target him? Maybe.
Who, Bateman?
Yeah.
Miami. They could use a receiver.
Yeah.
I always say Green Bay because they lost Romeo Doubs. I know they have Matthew Golden. They expect to take a big leap, but there's that. The Raiders could always use another receiver there with your new number 1 overall pick.
Yeah. The Cowboys, somebody said, DWAS?
He'd be a 3. That's a good 3 with Pickens and CeeDee.
Oh, yeah.
Then you'd have him under control, so you can probably let Pickens walk, and then if he's good enough, you can slot him into the 2, depending how he looks. So, and then the Eagles always take another receiver because they already have enough, but they'll take another one.
Yeah, man. It's just crazy with all this Rashod Bateman stuff coming out now. It's like, does the team decide to move off of him so there's not as much of a distraction or whatever? And Bateman doesn't even really give off the type of guy who's like going to be a distraction in the locker room, right? It does very much sound like, dealing with some personal stuff at home with the mother of his child. And, it's just unfortunate. Like we mentioned before, we're calling God, we're praying for all those involved. If Rashod Bateman needs some sort of help, any sort of rehabilitation, whatever, then definitely would love to see him get the help that he needs. But yeah. Okay. So I think that's about it. Rain Gang family. Let me just go through these notes here, make sure I didn't miss anything. I don't think I did. Just to end it. Tyler Loop today at training camp, because we did not mention this. Okay. But Tyler Loop at training camp today, he went 6 for 7 with his field goals. We've been talking about Tyler Loop a lot. You had mentioned in the game against Minnesota, he hit from 49 yards out. I thought that was significant because that was the same length that he missed from in week 1 of the preseason. So he gets that one back. Love to see that. But today in practice, he went 6 for 7. He missed from 58, but he did hit from 33, 38, 43, 48, 58, and 63 yards. So,
Mm.
he's showing he's got the big leg. He's just got to continue to show that he can do it under the lights. And he certainly did that on Saturday. So, big ups to Tyler Loop bouncing back after last week. Just got to continue to stack these weeks. Stack these weeks, man, right? We're not looking for perfection, but we are looking for you to, hit these kicks, hit these ones you're supposed to make, man. So certain ones are just layups. You can't be missing layups, right? That's all we're asking for. That's all we're asking for. But shout out to Tyler Loop, bringing it
Yeah.
back. But go ahead. What you got for me?
Yeah, I mean, I was watching the game on Saturday, and they were a little upset we didn't go for like a 4th and 2, 4th and 3. But no, throw. It's not Justin
Yeah.
Tucker out. Tyler Loop, he can use as many reps as he can in a game situation with guys running at him with people yelling. So I just wanted to kind of push back on what Rob Woodson and what was talking about. And all respect to him, he's a Hall of Famer. I'm not, but I thought it was probably better rather than you show your 4th down plays. No, we can
Yeah.
keep that. We can keep that. I'm not too mad at trotting him out there on 4th and short.
Yeah. Loop, he needs the reps. He needs the reps anyway, right? So,
Yeah.
like I said, shout out to him. Hopefully he continues to build on that. But okay, so listen, guys. So Ravens will be practicing joint practice with the Commanders the next 2 days. We'll be covering that on the channel. There's gonna be videos coming out midday. And then I'll be doing Quiet Storm on Tuesday night and Wednesday night. So make sure you stay tuned for that. But outside of that, I think that's about it. Thank you guys so much for coming through to this episode 435 of the Purple Rain podcast. Shout out to all of y'all. Please be sure before you get out of here, like this video. And if you are new to the channel, please consider subscribing to the channel as well. We'd appreciate that. If you want to join our channel membership, you can definitely do that. The link is right beneath this video. You get chat badges, exclusive perks, and also you get entered into our giveaways, things like that. So make sure you join into our membership as well. But with that being said, my name is Sudden Death. You can find me on Twitter or Instagram at Sudden Death. But with that being said, I'm going to let my guy Alex take us out.
Thank you for coming through to episode 435 of the Purple Rain podcast. We love you. We appreciate you. And as always, stay positive and test negative.
Yes, yes, yes. And never, ever, ever forget, even on the rainiest of days, to call God and may purple rain. Peace.